Hello and welcome to the third round, moving day, cut day, whatever you want to call it, but it's the 2025 European Disc Golf Festival presented by Coolbet. We are in Tallinn, Estonia at the Song Festival grounds, and look how beautiful it is. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese.
Honk.
Happy to be here, and it's a lot of movement already just leading into movement day, different thing. Before we really get going, let's celebrate the countdown to 2025 Pro Worlds with our 14 Days of Worlds campaign at the Pro Shop. Starting on the 21st, we're dropping a new deal or giveaway every day leading up to the season's biggest event.
Yeah, this is like the 14 days or the 12 days of Christmas, but in July. Save the date, follow the Pro Tour Pro Shop on Instagram at DGPT Pro Shop, and be ready to shop some of the season's biggest offers yet at shop.dgpt.com.
Going into the disc golf, Kristin and Lätt shooting 6 down, the best on our card, joining Missy, Gannon, Cadence, Burge, and Eveliina Salonen today.
Hole 1 is a friendly par 5 as long as you get off the tee. Even if you don't and you find yourself out of bounds, there is a drop zone that the par is recoverable from. So nice to get out there and just chuck some distance drives on one of the widest fairways we play all day. This green is sloped though, and it can bite you if you don't come in nice and flat. Rollaways can be prevalent here. Missy has been absolutely lighting the greens on fire out here, canning huge putts. We saw her on the first day with, I think, 4 slow mezzes.
Yeah.
90% circle 1X putting, and she's always known to keep those discs in the fairway. Excited to watch her on moving day.
Yeah, she's been playing consistent, a 5 down the first day and a 3 down yesterday, enough to give her a 1-stroke lead over her 3 card mates. Ooh.
Oh, man, she finds the path.
It's so strange to throw a good shot and then just kind of hope it misses that path.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty small landing zone between the paths. It's also funny, too, the first couple of days you're out here, it's almost like you don't know the danger you could get in. So you throw these pure tee shots and land great. And then it's like you see a couple people hit the path. You see a couple bad drives and you're like, oh, wait, that could happen to me.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And all of a sudden this tee shot becomes a lot more difficult. Cadence really peaking as she enters into this major season, I guess we could call it, with this tournament followed quickly by Worlds in Finland. Cadence playing some of the best golf she's ever played, winning an event, and really just stringing it together nicely.
Yeah, she's becoming a real regular on these lead card appearances. Ooh, sneaks it over that corner. That's going to be great. Eveliina playing consistently as well, a 3 down and a 4 down, putting her here, whereas Kristin jumped 18 spots and Cadence jumped 13 spots to make it onto the lead card, which is some pretty crazy jumps.
Yeah, huge. And it could happen to anyone really in the entire field on this course.
Yeah.
Birdies are so prevalent, but so punishing also.
Yeah, it's hard to keep it clean out here.
It definitely is. If you're throwing the disc well, this course almost feels easy. If you are just a little bit off, it feels like a gauntlet.
If you're a lot off, you should just leave. Missy from the drop zone. Again, this is a scoreable and kind of a soft par 5, so you can save par from that drop zone. It's a nice starting hole. We haven't really seen any eagle plays. I kind of thought we might see some of that from the big arm, but everyone just content to start with a nice simple birdie here.
And Cadence, one of the big arms now, getting all the way up to that corner is so great. I watched Kat Merch skip off the path of that corner earlier and almost have a long putt.
Yeah, I'm sure they could do it. It's just probably not worth the risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when the birdie is So straightforward. This played as the third easiest hole of the day today, with 37% of the field getting a birdie and way over half the field getting to circle one in regulation.
Kristin with one of the farther drives that we've seen, still just laying up to that. Oh, no way. What a bad break. I really like the move of putting the sunglasses straight down.
That stake must be implanted so far into the earth. I mean,
how did it not cut in half? That truly is a rough break, though. I mean, that had all the speed to make it inbounds easily.
This is Kristin Lätt we're talking about. There's power. There's intention behind that shot.
Missy laying up for her par. Cadence looking to put this in the circle. And it's nice to get even with the pin or higher than it. It sucks having an uphill putt at this. You see a lot of rollaways from the downhill side.
This is also an opportunity to go ahead and get your feet as wet as possible in the morning dew. Go ahead and embrace it for the rest of the day.
It has not been nearly as bad as the first. The first day was crazy.
Here's Eveliina with a little bit longer of a putt than you want for a birdie here.
The right power, but an air ball to the right, and she's going to have a comebacker for that par. Cadence with a little downhill straddle. In for a nice birdie.
Every day the weather forecast has called for the temperatures to be a little bit cooler, but every day it seems like it's a little bit warmer. It is a real heat wave here in Estonia. I'm sure you've heard people talking about it. Eveliina heating up on the putting green.
They predicted she would be cooler. That's crazy.
Missy with a nice par save after that OBT shot. And that's not easy either. It's to recover from that drop zone. It's two big crushes.
Yeah, full power shots. Mm-hmm. Let's check in with Silva Saarinen on the chase card ahead at hole 2. This one has been extended to a precarious position on the hillside. Very difficult to park it or get a safe feeling putt. Silva's going to be just outside the circle looking at such a steep hill.
And she's on the green, probably 15 feet on the old pin location. Wow, that putt is insane. It continues to drop off at that exact same level, or if not steeper,
I think
past
steeper.
The basket. Yeah,
and it all funnels into an out of bounds area. Cadence gonna tie it up with Missy with that birdie. Looks like Ella Hansen's having a hot round 5 down through 10.
Whoa.
Hole 2, we just saw it. It's a par 3, 312 feet today. Backhand turnover works. A forehand works, though. The forehand, I don't know. It feels riskier for some reason in this longer pin position. You really do not want to skip and pick up and roll. There is OB on the left side that's pulled off the fence enough to keep you honest. If you hit the fence, you're usually out of bounds. So it's what, like 30 feet past the other one?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more. And, yeah. But then also 30 feet of elevation difference.
Yeah. Also, I learned by landing on the right side, there's some low-hanging branches down there that can block a lot of the putts. So you really want to land like short or left.
Cadence showing us what can happen so often if you come in just a little bit too hot, you find the edge of that hill and you are gone. We watched Missy deal with that yesterday. It looks like she's trying to make the adjustment here, but doesn't quite do it.
They're both going to stay in bounds, though, so that's fine. Kristin opting for the forehand here. That's sawed off early, but safe.
And this is one of the most treacherous approaches you will throw all day from that short area.
It's so hard to get your disc to sit softly on that hillside. A pretty line from Eveliina. It is flirting with that OB, but she's safe.
This played as the third most difficult hole today in this new pin position. A little bit surprised by that, but also,
I don't know.
yeah, this approach that is so simple in yesterday's pin position is, I mean, you're thinking really hard right now.
I like proach as a slang word. That was a pretty short proach from Kristin. Eveliina not really left with a great look. She's just going to lay up, which feels equally as scary, honestly, as running it. Kristin conceding the bogey.
Missy down on a knee trying to get under those low-hanging tree branches. Nice work.
Yeah, harder than it looks. So steep. Cadence in the exact same spot.
Only 5 players. Wow. Only 5 players landing at circle 1 in regulation, while 21 landed at circle 2 in regulation. Yesterday, this hole averaged at even par, and the first day, just a 1/10 of a stroke over par. Today, a half stroke over par.
Whew.
Crazy the difference 30 feet can make.
Hole got a lot more teeth. Eveliina, her layup, picking up and rolling and leaving her with a really tough circle's edge uphill look. You can see she's frustrated. There's pretty much nothing worse than a layup gone wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to shout out the birdies because if we haven't hit the point home that this hole is difficult, Ida Neste, Olivia Kinstedt, and Silva Saarinen, we got to watch her from circle 2. Talk about icy.
Kristin and Eveliina gonna take the bogeys. Missy and Cadence scraping away with a par, which is good today. All of the pin positions that have changed are at least longer, if not more difficult than our previous 2 days. Ella 6 down now through 11. She's jumped 14 spots to be just behind our leaders.
Hole 3, same pin position, same tee pad, still a difficult shot. It's 305 feet. It's uphill though, and this one feels like it plays like closer to 340 or 350. The gap is not an easy one off the tee. The low ceiling takes away your ability to rely on the flight of the disc to get you there. You really have to punch something and hope you don't turn your disc or hyzer out and get a little flare skip. You see a lot of players landing in the short side, circle 2, and it demands a big putt usually to get this birdie. The spectators really turned out in force today on this beautiful Saturday. I've heard from some locals that this is the first good summer weekend that they've had with nice warm weather. So everyone's been hitting the beach, but happy they made time to come check us out at the Disc Golf Festival.
Yeah, it's cool to see the whole fairway lined here. Cadence gets through about as well as you can on this one. You have to get so aggressive, like Mad said, to get any closer. Ooh, Missy really squeaking by that right side tree, and that's the aggressive play. She had all the power, but catches a tree. I love the forehand on this. It's hard to get it all the way there, obviously, but it's just nice for the gap hit.
Yeah, there's not a lot of players that have the power to do what Kristin's doing right now. That's
wow.
So impressive.
Yeah, most forehands landing probably about 45 feet away. At best.
At best. Love this line from Eveliina.
Pretty.
Beautiful little forced turning shot with a stable disc.
Yeah, it was a champion Thunderbird from Eveliina, and Kristin got it there with an orbit rive on that forehand. Missy just doing a little chip up for her par.
Only 10 of the 46 competitors got to circle 1 in regulation. Here's Cadence with a long look, giving it a soft bid.
Kristin for birdie. Just barely inside the circle. Leaves it left.
No one quite able to park this one today. I think that really says something for the difficulty of the hole.
Yeah, Eveliina probably the closest. She's just outside the bullseye.
I really, on this hole in particular, feel the effect of watching what can go wrong. The first day, it just feels like a nice, pure, straight shot. And by day 3, you're like, okay, but there's that tree. And then I know if I turn it too much, it goes here. And I know if I fade too much, it goes here. So really a hard mental battle, not letting the course kind of crawl into your brain here. Continuing to trust your shots on these very narrow OB-lined ropes. I heard there was over 2 kilometers of OB ropes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
2.5
I wouldn't be surprised if
kilometers?
you doubled that, honestly. Nice birdie from Eveliina, taking a lot of strokes on the field with that one.
Every inch of the OB rope laid so professionally. This venue is insane.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Ella, 7 down now through 12.
What is the simplest way to improve your disc golf game? The answer, learn from the very best. Paul Ulibarri, Simon Lizotte, Ezra Aderhold, and Holland Hanley. They're not just players, they are your elite coaches guiding you every step of the way. The Power Disc Golf Academy is the premier online disc golf academy with over 150 on-demand lessons that are specifically designed to improve your skills right now. So what are you waiting for? Join today at powerdga.com.
Hole 4, a new par 4, 525 feet. You are going through the tunnel. We're in a new pin position. It's straight down a secondary tunnel. We've been going to the left kind of on a Spike-Heiser line. Now we're going straight past this little Cramo advertisement to this other pin. Unlike previous days where you could kind of saw one off and maybe play the left side, you really want to make sure you don't fade too much off the tee shot and try to line yourself up to the tunnel. Placement, I think, is even more important today than it has been in the previous 2 days to set yourself up for tunnel number 2. Also, in the War of the Snails that you guys have been asking about, they have signed a treaty. They have vacated the premises. Eveliina gonna drop pretty short. I like this pin position. I think it's kind of a more pure golf shot, but I think we're gonna see less birdies.
Definitely. It does have a small landing zone, and it is blind around this corner, but I think it's slightly a better hole.
I do too.
Harder, but better.
Yeah, I think the other one was like really fun to chuck one up and over the trees, but you were kind of always thinking like, hopefully I filter through those, which isn't a normal golf feeling.
A fun golf feeling, but definitely not a normal one that we see on the tour very often.
Kristin early didn't hit the gap, but does make it through, and she might have like a Spike-Heiser play from there. We'll see. Eveliina actually is lined up to the tunnel, but from there, that's got to be, what, like 275 feet easy?
Yeah, and the gap is only probably 15 or 20 feet wide at the pinch point there, right by that Cramo sign.
Ooh.
I think forehand's the way.
So good.
Yeah, Kristin really flexing that forehand in all ways.
I thought backhand was the way until this moment right here.
Yep.
It depends on, I guess, which side of the tiny landing zone you land on, though.
Mm-hmm. Missy in a good spot as well. Going to show us the backhand.
Ooh. Oh, sit. There is OB back there.
Oh, no. Too pure.
Whoa. Eveliina. Oh, I see. Okay, she's way to the right. Throwing a little chip spike forehand up to, I don't know, we'll call it 6 meters because we get to just make up whatever we want.
Here's Missy after taking her meter, still dealing with some tree branches.
Dang, strong run.
Eveliina from about 6 meters, it seems.
Nice.
Little wind filtering through these woods. But
And
Evelina's in for par.
Very professional scramble from our current world champ here. Looking composed.
Cadence playing the hole really well. Just a tap-in birdie. 1 of 14 today out of 48 competitors.
Missy unfortunately going to take the bogey there. Cadence going to have a 2-stroke lead over her card mates. And a nice birdie from Kristin with
crazy.
That perfect forehand.
This pin position did make the whole play significantly more difficult.
That is crazy.
Here's a check-in real quick with Silva Saarinen. This is her second shot to the green. A little standstill is no problem for her. She is going to be in circle 2, though, for birdie.
She loves circle 2.
She does.
She makes circle 2 look like circle 1. Come on.
She really does. She's a machine.
Cadence in a tie for first with Ella Hansen, who keeps stacking them up. Look at that, 8 down through 13. 8 is the best that we have seen in the clubhouse in the current course record.
And she's moved up 17 spots.
Nuts.
Hole 5 is the same as the last 2 days, 351 feet with a late turn. No big deal. You do see a lot of players relying a little bit more on a flex shot and just ideally timing the eventual fade of the disc to hopefully be extremely late in the flight. You see a lot of circle 2 putts right at this basket perched on the ledge. It drops off straight behind that basket on the right side of the fairway to out of bounds, so can't come in too hot, whether from the tee or the green.
Is that all?
That's all. This is one of the prettiest tunnels on the course. It's such a pretty fairway. So many big trees.
Yeah, it just feels like a nice little walk in the park.
It sure does.
And this is exactly how you draw it up. Beautiful shot from Cadence.
Wow.
Let's see, that looks like it was her Neo Essence.
Man, that came in just so perfectly.
And didn't really get the ground play. I mean, it just came in, yeah, perfectly.
Nice speed. Kristin also with excellent speed.
She
even
would do it
closer.
slightly better.
She would.
Come on.
What did Kristin throw here? I'm not sure what an essence is either. I'm guessing these are drivers or fairways.
I don't know what an essence is either. I was hoping we didn't have to talk about it. Kristin's throwing a gold line compass, which is a mid.
Yep.
I was guessing that Cadence is also throwing slow speed just by the way that it sat down and didn't get any ground play. Versus Eveliina going... Oh no, she's going Champ J. She is going to find out of bounds, though, with too much turn on that. And we all know what Missy's throwing. It's a thrasher if you're new. And she's going to get caught up pretty early, but no real damage done there. She
an
just
essence
pitch up.
is an 8-speed, flippier,
Okay.
just slightly flippy fairway. So you can see all kinds of things on this hole.
All kinds. Missy's been really leaning on this forehand chip shot. It's been looking great. Yep. Wow.
Yep.
Eveliina coming up, trying to get a par save, and she just can't quite get enough power on it. Such a steep hill. Cadence for another birdie. Wow, 3 down through 5.
Missy going to take another par. There were only 11 birdies on hole 5 every day, right around a quarter of the field. This is such a great FPO hole.
And a nice park job from Kristin to go 2 in a row. Checking in with Ella Hansen. She's been running ahead, getting birdies. We finally got a cameraman on her.
I know, about time. And this is one of the hardest holes we play all day.
Do you see her scorecard?
Six card. She's got, what's that, five in a row? And she's looking at her sixth here. So
wow, that's a Chiff Chaff with a golden sombrero and what?
This Chiff Chaff is decked out. Golden sombrero.
Holding an apricot croissant.
We're at a festival ground, so I feel like it maybe has a hula hoop.
Okay, sure, yeah. Next thing's the croissant, though.
Yeah.
Ella, 9 down through 14. That's insane. We are on hole 6. It's a par 4, 607 feet. OB lining both sides. You got to get either around or up and over this little structure here. You see a lot of kind of turning shots up and over. You see hyzers. You see all sorts of stuff. Second shot, obviously, depending on where you land, there's lots of room to work. You're usually not quite as worried on the second shot. I don't know, the OB just really widens, and there's some pretty fair gaps. I learned some things about this structure.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Let me tell you, if you look up, it has a music note. So, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and you can sing, and it's a music box. Isn't that crazy?
Wait.
Yeah.
It
Makes
has
different
good
notes
acoustics?
as you go in there. Yes.
What?
It has amazing acoustics. And thank you, Sarah Hokum, for showing me that.
There is going to be some ruckus from that structure tomorrow morning at around 8:45 a.m.
Cadence flipping hers too far to the right and gonna find OB on that side. Kristin getting really aggressive here. I think she crossed up there, but she's gonna find OB late left.
And for the people really getting aggressive off the tee, I think that is the most common place to go out of bounds, is just barely sliding OB on the left corner.
I mean, that's the place to do it. It leaves a pretty simple upshot. Missy also gonna go this right side. As Madison has stated in previous rounds, that kind of muddy area is not particularly good for footing or for attacking for birdie.
Yeah, it really forces a standstill.
Eveliina went huge on day 1. She's trying to again and getting a little bit more right turn than she wants, but it's way down there. It's probably a forehand from there.
I honestly have no idea what it looks like there, because that is probably 100 feet past where any of my best drives land.
Yeah, it's so far. The only reason I know is because Sophia landed there yesterday and she had to throw a forehand.
Missy, where the mere mortals land, here in the mud pit. I'm just kidding. She's going to opt for a run-up. It has dried out pretty nicely as we've had these very warm, sunny days, but you can see her still turning around, looking at the ground, and a little disappointed with her effort. Cadence looks like she's even having a more difficult time, slightly downhill as well. But look at that control.
Yeah, and she's trying to save her par here, but isn't able to give it enough power. And she's flirting with that OB line over there. I think she's safe. Look, it's a forehand. But yeah, legit, that is like 100 feet past where the middle of the field is landing.
Kind of a strange angle. She tried to work a skip, but unfortunately got a little bit of an Annie bounce on that first hop. She'll have a long putt for birdie. Here's Kristin, just trickling OB, but with a pretty friendly angle on the approach and a very friendly tree as well.
The friendliest. Missy's third shot. Just laying up for par.
Missy just not quite able to find any fireworks yet. She's playing solid in the middle, but just not quite able to find the birdies yet.
I think fireworks are illegal in this country. Cadence conceding her first bogey of the round. Eveliina unable to convert her birdie with that one. Oof. Eveliina squeaking in that par.
30% of the field birdieing this one, but our lead card not quite able to find any green on hole 6.
Yeah, not quite the showing you want on that one. Let's check back in with our chase card, Valerie Menduhana, who we saw play yesterday, working this very difficult tunnel shot. Hole 8 has been the second most difficult hole every day, following the most difficult, and getting a disc all the way down to where she is takes extreme skill. She really pushed the left side of the fairway on that one.
Woo! And a little jumper.
Jams it.
Not much room behind this basket. Love the confidence on that putt.
Cadence in second place with that bogey to Ella Hansen, who has so many cards in front of her.
What's going on, guys? Hold My Bag just launched the greatest disc golf fantasy game in the universe.
Hold My Bag just dropped the best fantasy disc golf game the planet has ever seen.
I want to tell you guys about the newest disc golf fantasy game on the market.
One of my favorite parts is the Hold My Bag. This is something that we started doing, and it's actually a lot of fun.
Here is hole 7, has played as the most difficult hole every day, including today. The tee shot is not necessarily the part of the hole that you're worried about. You can find some danger if you saw one off early, or I watched Cat Merch today turn one a little bit too much and go far out of bounds on that right side. The second part of the hole is where the teeth come out for most players. You can choose to go across on your second shot. You can choose to go through to the little OB. There's some.
There are a lot of choices. You're right.
There's so many options. There's a nice extended island to the right side that has a friendly bubble that you can try to go to. But regardless, if you do not establish a lie on the island, you do have to throw again, and that's where players really stack up strokes.
Mm-hmm. Kristin with a really nice tee shot there. This is looking great from Missy. Beautiful shot shape there.
I tried something new on this hole today. I tried to kind of get it up more on the top of the hill instead
nice
of just playing straight. Yeah, but it's tough to get up there.
It is.
Even Eveliina, a super power player in the sport, can't quite get up to the top. She does get a little bit of a mean roll. But yeah, this hole, I think you just have to accept the fact that your second shot, you're going to probably have some weird footing on this little side slope.
And Cadence out there nicely.
I think if this fairway was flat, the hole would be drastically different scoring-wise.
Absolutely. That hillside's right in the landing zone, like you said. Cadence choosing to go to that right side bubble and really managing that hillside well, getting a ton of power on this, and that looks safe the whole way.
Sure does.
And she can breathe easy, having established the lie, and it's a simple upshot from there. Eveliina going to show us the short side layup to what I like to call the backhand tunnel. You can throw either from there, but typically you're going to see a little backhand approach shot, which I think works better for the shape of the green. The forehand shot is shorter, but you risk skipping OB a lot more. Missy across safely to the bubble. Wow, this is Kristin's drive. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. And
okay.
And she still decides not to go for the green. I think that's a really smart play, but she even has a long putt. She's got pretty aggressive in that little safer area of the bubble.
Yeah, that's not really a layup play that I've seen. I mean, obviously that drive was farther than anything I've seen, but she's really strategically playing the hole. Eveliina with a perfect upshot, and all perfect upshots on this island hole look a little scary.
Only one player got to circle 1 in regulation. Only 2 got to circle 2 in regulation. Kristin is the closest competitor on our lead card. Let's see what she is working with. Missy and Cadence with the pretty classic third shots. I don't think she's quite in circle 2, but she is putting.
Yeah, she'll just take the par, which is taking strokes on the field for the most part. I think everyone probably having to take some medicine on this hole and playing it a bit more conservatively than the first 2 days.
Looks like the only player to birdie it is Amanda Lennartson. Wow. From circle 1, just outside the bullseye.
Nice.
Amanda's been getting a lot of the hardest holes on the course. Pay attention to that name. The fact that our lead card's walking away with a whole slew of pars is really, really excellent. Gaining strokes on the whole field.
That is an incredible par frame.
Just like the last 2 days, hole 8 is also the second most difficult hole of the round.
A par 3, 344 feet. Narrow to start, leading up to this double mandatory. If you cross the mandatory plane, but you miss the mando essentially, you go to that drop zone. It then bubbles out just a little bit to give you a tiny amount of breathing room. We saw Valerie Mandojano birdie it, and to do that you really need to push either side of the tree line. It's really hard to get like a pure straight shot down there. It is possible, you just don't see it very often. Most pure shots gonna land in circle 2. This one, yeah, this is tough. If you hit any of those trees, the chances of kicking OB are probably, 50%?
Yeah, it's very high. Even if you make contact with the tree really low, it's still just so close to the OB line.
I love the play that Kristin just did, keeping it nice and low, kind of minimizing the risk. Missy's not really flipping up as much as she would want, or just maybe early, and I think she caught the wall and stayed in pretty far down there.
Yeah, that little final OB wall on the left side, pinched in as much as it is so mean. It's like right in the landing zone.
Eveliina gonna catch a tree and kick OB. This is another interesting one because you see everything from putters to fairway drivers. And I do like this play as well. Cadence just, it's not exciting, but taking a slower speed disc, making sure she makes the mando, keeps it in the middle. Again, par is so good here. You do not see very many birdies.
Here's Eveliina from where she kicked out of bounds. Not an easy shot anywhere where you find yourself early OB. She's not even going to get quite out of the trees. A long putt to save her bogey.
Yeah, a little undercommitted from Eveliina. You could tell right out of her hand she wasn't happy with that one. That looks great from Cadence.
Yeah, really trusting her ability to approach the green. Here's Kristin from circle 2, one of only 10 competitors to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Huge circle 2 hit from Kristin Lätt in front of the hometown crowd.
Yeah, she gave him 2 fists in the air, which we maybe have never seen before. How far is that? 18 meters? A little closer.
Let's see what our
16
stats
meters.
keeper says. 52 feet to the basket.
Impressive putt.
Missy, with a look, you're happy with it. She's not quite able to cash it. There were only 4 birdies on hole 8 today.
think we need a little honk for one of those.
Honk.
And Eveliina kind of showing us why this hole is playing so difficult. The strokes can stack so quickly. Kristin with the rare birdie, Missy and Cadence gonna take some nice squeaky clean pars. And then you can breathe a little easier after those two. Kristin tying it up with Cadence. And now trailing our new leader, Silva Saarinen, who's 3 down through 10. Where'd Ella go?
Where did she go?
Yeah.
Hole 9, 344 feet. I think this is one of the most difficult par 3s on the course. Really big separator hole for the distance throwers. They're probably looking at this like no big deal. But anyone that has to lay up, it becomes a bit of a puzzle. You can lay up on the short side. You can lay up to that little strip on the left side. Or if you're a big arm, you can go for it. It demands a big hyzer shot, as the weeping willow low-hanging branches do hang out over the out of bounds in the middle. So you can't just go straight at it or flex something in. You have to go this big outside route.
That looks perfect.
So good from Kristin Lätt. That little guy that they just showed on the still, it reminds me that Junior Worlds is going on this week in Emporia, Kansas. For all of you guys that aren't paying attention to other events, go check out the juniors, the future of our sport, playing their major this week as well in the United States.
Nice. Missy kind of messing with the willow a little bit more than you want, but she is nice and safe. Not something you see very often. Cadence working kind of the full flexing shot and unable to skip over the wall. And she's got a ton of power, so it just shows, you know, it's a far shot.
There was also a bit of a headwind today. That definitely made the whole play more difficult. It was gusty, so maybe they're not feeling it right now, but it was here and there. Eveliina with a huge hyzer shot. Spiking into the green. God, that's so good. Yeah, let's watch it again.
Yes, please. Beautiful. Gorgeous shot. I got to shout out my card mate from today, Elisabetta Pexena. Sorry if I said that wrong, but she hit cage on her shot.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a skip in cage, but it was so cool. And Cadence laying up, minimizing the damage. Missy for her first birdie of the round. Dang, can't quite get the engine started. She doesn't seem upset though.
Missy is so good at being patient, which is very important on these types of rounds where it can feel frustrating to not have a birdie yet, watching your competitors stack them up. Kristin, one of those 4 birdies out of the last 6 holes. Wow, there were 16 birdies on this hole today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
21 competitors getting to circle 1 in regulation.
Very cool.
Eveliina going to get another birdie on her scorecard as well. I know.
Man, that's like nearly half the field.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's easy.
It's easy. Ella Hansen finishing up her round. I believe it's... What is she at right now? She's still at... She at 8? Let me check. Regardless, she is throwing a bomb to get into circle 1.
Oh my gosh. Lands in the bullseye, gets a little bit of a roll to this middle area.
Oh, she's 9 down, I believe, and with that Oh no, 8 down. And with that birdie, she finishes at 9 down. New course record, at least for the moment. We'll see if our lead card can break it or anybody else in the field. No spoilers. Don't razz me. I didn't do anything. Wow, what a round. Ella moving up 17 spots, currently in a tie for first with Kristin Lätt, who is 3 down through 9.
Silva Saarinen having a nice round as well, 3 down through 10. Katie Tate 2 down through 10, and that's good enough for a 4th place positioning, but just barely out of that tie for the lead.
Cadence, Missy, and Eveliina sliding down the leaderboard, but as we've seen, just staying under par, even a couple under can move you way up the leaderboard, and there's still plenty of birdies out there and plenty of difficulty too. So
we also have 9 more holes of really calm conditions. It gets hotter and hotter as the day goes on, so come hang with us in the summertime in Estonia on moving day. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the Two Hot Geese.
Honk.
Honk. And please help us make it to 500,000 subscribers and turn on your notifications and do all the YouTube stuff. We love you.
Okay, bye.
Watch your body and I feel that sunshine. Get up on my body, know it truly I feel.